July 2020. The McCrary family were making great memories on their vacation in the Florida Keys. But soon, those memories would take a terrible turn.
On July the 4th, Saturday morning, I knew something hit me early that morning. I was nauseated, it hit me in the stomach, and it was like turning a light switch on.
71-year-old Rick McCrary, husband, father, and grandfather, had contracted COVID-19. Within a week of coming home, Kay, his wife of 52 years, was dropping him off at the Baylor Hospital emergency room in Dallas, Texas.
And I tried to be strong, but I didn't really know if I would ever see him again.
We held hands, we hugged, and we said our goodbyes, and I'll never forget the feeling of leaving my sweetheart in the parking lot.
By then, Rick had developed double pneumonia and sepsis. To make matters worse, Rick was pre-diabetic, had a pacemaker, and had gone through numerous heart surgeries and prostate cancer. His odds of surviving were very slim. Meanwhile, Kay and their daughter Christy had also tested positive for COVID. Although neither were hospitalized, their symptoms were brutal.
The aches and the pains were literally unbearable, and I didn't think I could stand it.
Despite her pain, Kay still managed to pray for Rick.
I remember saying a scripture, Rick will live, not die, and declare the glory of the Lord. I mean, screaming it.
Christy also reached out to a handful of friends to pray.
All I could do was lift my head up and try to make text messages that would bullet point our prayer requests. I was so sick. That's all I could handle. Next thing I know, a day or two has gone by and hundreds of people across the country are getting these prayer texts.
Still in the ER, Rick was declining. His oxygen levels plummeted, and the sepsis was spreading. Doctors put him on oxygen and strong medications, and they worked at first.
I had stabilized those first 2 days, and then I had a crash. My body rejected the medicines, my temperature went up, my breathing became to where I couldn't breathe.
Doctors moved Rick to the ICU and managed to get him stabilized again. That night, Rick said he had a terrifying encounter.
I could see pitch dark black skies, and then I would see what looked like lightning, but it lit up the whole sky. And in the background, when it was lit up, I could see a skeleton, and it was the death angel that had come for me.
At exactly 3:18 that morning, a woman who had been praying for Rick said she heard from God.
God said, wake up now. Rick is in trouble. Go pray.
She wasn't the only one.
Another lady that's not connected had woken up at 3:18 in the morning. God said, go get in your prayer chair. Someone can't breathe.
And then I could see people pointing their fingers, shaking their fists, violently praying that you're not going to take this life, that Rick is going to live and Rick is not going to die.
Rick woke up that morning, determined to fight.
I said, the devil, you're not going to win. You do not have my number.
In the coming week, Rick's lungs began to clear. But now his sugar levels were spiking and he was still fighting sepsis, causing his white blood cell counts to rise to dangerously high levels. Weak and isolated with only brief visits from nurses, Rick's only contact with family was through FaceTime.
And I thought, what am I going to do? My rock is leaving right before my eyes.
Meanwhile, Kay, at home under a nurse's care, had become so ill she couldn't even pray for her husband.
And I thought, am I going to lose my father? And now I'm going to lose my mother.
But through prayer, Christy and others around the country continued to fight. Gradually, all three of them improved. On day 12 of Rick's hospital stay, a doctor came into his room. Rick was being released.
It was a joyous day. It was a fun day. They brought me home in a COVID-approved vehicle.
And he walked through the door, we embraced and cried and cried.
Many days we thought we would never be able to touch or feel or hold each other again. And to experience that was just something that it's hard to describe.
It was glorious because it was life again. God had defeated death.
After a couple of months, they had regained their health. Today, they're thankful that the Lord has given them more time to make many more memories.
My friends are in awe. We're all in awe because we've seen remarkable things today.
Jesus has given us hope. He's the same yesterday, today, and forever.
Without prayer warriors that were stronger than I was, I would have never lived through my experience. And I thank God that He's brought up friends of the family that know how to pray.